Hi, team. I'm Fitz Kohler, your race announcer and host for the ASICS Falmouth Road Race. And we are so excited about this upcoming weekend. We have a ton of athletic adventure in store for you. And tonight we are going to answer all of your questions, give those do's and those don'ts so you can make the absolute best of race weekend. We're going to bring in the woman who's been working tirelessly for 365 days this year to make this weekend great. One thing I'd like to point out, sorry, hair in my mouth, is that our website, falmouthroadrace.com, is jam-packed with all the information you're going to hear tonight. So this video will be available on replay, so you can watch it twice. You can watch it 100 times. Jennifer and I are going to be so entertaining that you may just put this on auto replay for the rest of the year. But know if you have questions on timing, location, parking, all of those things, they're on our website. And I'm going to introduce our race director and know that she's in the middle of chaos. So between now and when that final finisher crosses the finish line on Sunday, her hair is going to be on fire. So if you can find the answers and those solutions that are available to you on the website, I recommend you doing so. That she did not ask me to do that. But as I announce races around the country, I see my race directors just, steaming from the ears because they are so busy. So without further ado, here she comes, our race director, Jennifer Edwards.
Hi, happy to be here.
Oh, I am so excited. Thank you so much for bringing me on board this year, Jennifer. I'm really excited.
Yep, we're happy to have you. And I can't believe it's already the 51st and we are only a week away. I'm like you said, my hair is on fire. It's, my friends always laugh the more humid it gets, especially race week, the curlier and bigger. So I get crazier and so does my hair, but it's so much fun. And I can't wait until you're in town and you can experience Falmouth and everything that it has to offer. There's so much to do. And so I'm super excited to talk it through.
So I'm going to start by asking about the population of our athletes. So I'm sure I won't be the only newcomer there. What percentage of your athletes have done your race before and what percentage are new?
Yeah, it's different every year. We are so fortunate because our course is, the race itself is a bucket list race. So people from all over the world, they come to Falmouth and they want to run the race. So I would say, we have quite a large handful of, we call them streakers that have done, 40 or more races. And it's amazing. We have two people who have completed all 50, which is unbelievable. Yep. Brian Salzberg and Tom Brantley. Those are the two that have done every single one, even the pandemic when we did it virtually. They have not missed one. So that's impressive. But we also have a bunch of people that come to town on vacation or whatnot. So I would say it's at least half. It's different every year, but it's about 50-50, that they've come and sometimes this is the only race they do. They just want to do the 7 mile or maybe they're raising money for a charity. So they do the event and they check it off their list.
Okay. So that's a really good starter for our audience. Wherever you are, use the comments section to tell us where you're from and if you've run this race before and what you're most excited about. And Jennifer, I want to ask, how many years have you been at the helm and what's your favorite part of being the race director for Falmouth?
So I moved to Falmouth in 2006. I ran the race because it's Falmouth Road Race, right? So I ran it for a couple of years. I volunteered for a year or two. I spectated, and then I was asked to be part of the team. So in 2011, I started by doing the expo, and then the next year I did some of the PR and the media. I just kind of did a little bit more every year, and then in 2013, I took on the leadership role. So the Falmouth Road Race is a nonprofit, and a lot of people don't know that or don't think about it that way, but it's a 501c3. This is our big fundraiser. The race is what we do, for our fundraising so that we can give back to our community. So it's been, 13 years for me. And honestly, the team that we have in place here is unbelievable. The volunteers are amazing. The support from the town, this is truly a community event. And we really couldn't do it with everyone. And I might be the executive director for the organization, but Dave McGilvery and the Dimsey Sports, they are the team that comes in. They're the operations team. Dave's the race director for, I think 10 years now as well.
Wow.
And so, making it happen and making it as professional and fun as it can be, it takes all of these teams working together. So very lucky.
Yeah, you do have an extraordinary team, and
Yeah.
Dave McGilvray is such a wonderful man, not only a total pro in our industry, but very generous and supportive of others. So I'm looking forward to seeing him this weekend as well.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get down to the nuts and bolts of business. We kick things off on Thursday. Tell us about our Health and Fitness Expo.
Yep. So Thursday, we are open from 4 to 7. And that's an opportunity for you to come pick up your number, pick up your friend's number. You get your gift bag, and you get to check out the expo. This year, it's been kind of reduced in number of vendors and sponsors for the past few years because of COVID. But this really is the first, it feels more like pre-COVID times. So it's very exciting for us. So Falmouth High School in the field house, that's where the expo happens. And like I said, you can come and pick up your own number. If you want to pick a number up for a friend, you absolutely can. You just need to have a picture of their license. So you can do a picture on a smartphone. That's fine. You don't have to print out a copy. You bring that in, and you have to show your own license and leave your phone number in case there's an issue and we need to call you. But, people do it all the time. We want everyone to come to the expo because honestly, there's so much to see and so much to learn and experience. And, trying new ASICS shoes, ASICS is our title sponsor, and they're a tremendous partner. And they have, we just got our official clothing for this year. So, the quarter zips, the t-shirts, the hoodies, it's part of the excitement every year. So, and we have a speaker series, and we'll get to it, but there's so much to do. It's like a 5-day experience for everyone in town.
So tell us about parking, because that's always one of the most popular race weekend questions.
Yeah. So, parking for the expo, we can start with that because there's a lot of parking at Falmouth High School. And, it's walking distance, probably from Main Street, but it's a little iffy. So I would suggest carpooling, but we usually don't have much of an issue with parking for the expo. Parking for the race, we'll have to talk about that a little bit more, but parking is it's a first come, first serve. So the earlier you get there, the easier the chances that you're going to find a place to park.
Yeah. So if you're local, try and make it out on Thursday night. That'll be the easiest, right?
Yeah. For the expo, yes. If you can come on Thursday, that would be great. But honestly, if you come more than one day, you're going to get to see more things and experience more things and hear more, Q&A sessions or discussions and get your poster signed and all the fun stuff. And it is open to the public. We invite everyone to come in. People bring their families, and, there's food to sample. There's a lot to do. It really is.
So I think the word sample is always a big one to throw out when you want people to come, especially the husbands. The husbands of all the people want to come for samples. So sample, come on out to the expo, right? It's like Sam's Club, but not really. And the other thing is, these are businesses that support us as athletes, as our race community, and we don't get to put these events on without their mega support. So, maybe stock up for Christmas or just treat yourself a little extra special, because we want to make sure those vendors do well, right?
Exactly. And we always partner with people that, that they're really, their brand brings some level of value to the event and to our running community or just the local community. It's sponsorships, it's vendors, but it's really their partnerships. And we work really closely with them. Megan Faulkner is our director of sponsorships and special events. So you'll see her running all over the expo and making sure everything looks just right. But she and Kelly Gross, they're an amazing sponsorship team, and they really work closely with each of the sponsors to find out what they want from our event, not just what, they can do for us. And so it's really a fantastic partnership. And I'm really proud of all of the partners and what they've helped to build.
Yeah. And the other thing is, our folks, I think they're encouraged to wear their medal for at least a week after race day. Wear it to the airport, wear it to work or school, or wherever you're going. But eventually that will get tired and weird. And so you're going to have your ASICS Falmouth Road Race hat or shirt or sweatshirt so you can brag about it year round.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Fitz. This is something you don't know. It's a little secret. We only do medals every 5 years.
Oh,
I know. Every 5 years we do a finisher medal. We do a finisher medal for the at-home edition every year, and that's our virtual event. And it's a fun medal, but we don't do a finisher medal. It's been a tradition, since the 80s that it's just every 5 years we do a finisher medal. You get a photo and you get lots of snacks and a nice party on the ball field. But yeah, every 5 years. So
wowie. So you have to get the swag,
right? You're gonna want your hat.
Hey, I want to give this man his due. Brian Baker, running his 5th consecutive from Montgomery, New York, as a vacation home in Falmouth. Well, that sounds lovely, Brian. I will look forward to making a raging stink over you when you cross the start and finish line on Sunday.
I love it. He's a big fan of the race. We're a big fan of him. We featured him in our 50th magazine that we did, and he had all of his bibs lined up from all the years that he's run, and he's really supportive, and he helps out. He volunteers, and he's done some airport runs for us. So, like I said, it's really a community effort. So we're a big fan of Brian too.
Absolutely. And folks, if you have questions, use the comment for that. So you've got Jennifer on the spot right now. So if you have any questions, especially as we target each topic, feel free to ask, and she'll answer, because that's what we're here to do. All right. So Thursday night expo, I see at 7 p.m. you have a medical symposium. It's an online show.
Yep, we do. It's a learning opportunity and a sharing. So our medical team is really second to none. Chris Troyanos is our medical coordinator, and he helps to put this symposium together every year. John Jardine, Dr. J, he is our medical director and has been for many years. And so we work with the Corey Stringer Institute team out of Yukon, and they've been doing heat studies for a very long time at our event. And they've gotten some tremendous data, and they have really come up with incredible protocols to make sure that, if someone is suffering from heat-induced illness, that they will be, taken care of properly, immersed in the tub. I mean, I could talk for hours on it, but it's been, the infrastructure that they have helped to build over the years is unbelievable. And so what they do is they offer an opportunity for, information sharing, and it's people from all over the place. So Yuri is one of the speakers. Yuri was a grad student when I first started, and she was part of the KSI team, and she was doing some research, and every year our runners get to partake in it. So she now is in Japan, and married, has a child, and now has taken all of this. Like, she has just grown. She's out there, and she took all this information to the Olympics in Japan, and they use this protocol for their marathon and for their races. And so they learned all that in Falmouth. And that's just, for us, we're so proud of that. So it's a great opportunity. It's virtual. People can join, jump in, jump out, just so you can learn. Heat is nothing to play with. So we do have a whole page dedicated just to, the do's and don'ts of race day, and really the day before also, just to keep you safe and out of the medical tent.
That's right. And I was just going to say, folks, take responsibility. You can start hydrating now, not only with water and electrolyte beverages, fruits, veggies, all of those things will help. So be diligent. It's been warm across the country. So
yeah. Hydrate. One thing too, I just learned, we were chatting, Dr. Jardine said, don't forget to add that they need a good night's sleep the night before. And I kind of chuckled, and he said, no, there's a direct link, that lack of sleep, really contributes to heat-induced illness. And I thought, well, I didn't know that. I mean, generally you need to get sleep, but a lot of people in this race, they go out the night before, they're on vacation and they're partying and they're hanging out, and then they get up and run the race. So I would just caution everyone just to kind of take it easy and make sure you drink plenty of water, get to bed at a decent hour. But again, our website has lots of information that you can read, the tips, the do's, the don'ts.
Fantastic. All right. So let's dive right into Friday. Friday's a very busy day. Where would you like to start?
Yeah, Friday's a busy day. We're starting with our press conference in the morning. That's down in the Heights. So there's, some special guests coming to that. But when that ends, our expo is from 12 to 7 on Friday. So it's the same thing. We'll have a lot of traffic in there, people picking up their number and their gift bag and their poster. And then speaking of the poster, our poster artist, who's a teacher at Falmouth High School, her name is Jane Faye Baker, and she has created the coolest poster. And it's using a medium that we have never done for our poster before. It's like a wood carving that she did. And so she does this. And if you saw it on Facebook, and if you didn't, you can just scroll back a little bit, but it is a time lapse of it. And it's fascinating. And it features mile 4. So she's going to bring kind of the tools that she used to make it so that you can see how it was done. And she'll be there to, answer questions and sign posters. People get the poster, and every year they get it signed by people here and there, special guests and VIPs. So she'll be there signing posters from, I believe, 12 to 3.
Well, your course is kind of cute, right? It's really nice.
It's kind of cute.
Breathtaking.
It's very scenic. I mean, we live in a beautiful community. We're very lucky to be here. We're lucky everyone wants to run by the Nobska Lighthouse. Like we have entertainment up and down the course. There's cheers stations. There's music. There's other entertainment. Like it's a great course, and the mile markers are painted right in the road, and it's really exciting on race day. I think everybody, it's a special day for everybody, and we look forward to it like Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like Christmas week.
You know what? That's how I also equate race weekends to the prom. Like you've just got something big coming up, and it's your day, and it might look a lot different than you do at the prom, but it's still that thrill. We've got quite a few of your athletes reaching out, and even Jonathan Parker, he says things haven't gone his way as far as training, but he's doing the at-home edition. And I saw one of my friends do an unboxing of your at-home edition swag. Very nicely done. And there was sidewalk chalk.
Yeah, well, we try to do something creative and different every year. Like I said, we have a small but mighty team, and we sit in this room and we just kind of brainstorm. We throw all kinds of ideas out. There's a lot of visionaries in this group. And one of the ideas, Nika Scott was brought on to do the at-home edition to kind of manage it. We needed to pay a little more attention to it because it's sort of this other huge event that we're trying to do at the same time that we're doing this, little 10,000 person race. So, so she came on and kind of took charge and ran with a lot of the ideas, but one of them was sidewalk chalk. And the sidewalk chalk is so that you can design your own finish line. There's a lot of family involvement. And so when, since 2020, when we started the virtual, people have been creating their own finish lines. We sent home a banner for everyone to use last year for the 50th. So we thought, let's give them the chalk, and we can have a little kind of contest.
Nice.
So they make their finish line, they tag it on Facebook or Instagram, and then we always draw winners and send them something fun.
Super cute. Are there still registrations available for the at-home edition?
Well, you know what? This year it started yesterday, and so we usually turn it off because the event's already in progress. Okay. So it's a week-long opportunity for people to complete their 7 miles. Okay. So that's kind of the beauty of it, and why we kept it on. A lot of the charity teams, charity runners, the fundraising groups, they had people that either couldn't make it to Falmouth but still wanted to participate, or they, maybe they're immune suppressed and they couldn't be in the crowd past few years. So they've done their race at home. So they've still been able to kind of get all the swag and wear the medal and participate. And, they get the mug. We get a great gift, happen to be drinking from it. But, the runner mug and the bag and all the stuff that comes with it. So it's really a chance to kind of include everyone who might not be able to be here. So you can do it a mile at a time, a day at a time for 7 days, as long as you get your 7 miles in. So it's been a fun event. It's fun. It's been fun to see it grow.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just thought it was above and beyond when I saw that little Instagram post. I thought, clever, thoughtful. Okay. So on Friday, we also have, there's that poster signing you mentioned from noon to 3 at 4 p.m. The movie screening, 26.2 to Life, the San Quentin Prison Marathon.
Yeah. So this has just been a really recent ad, but we are very excited. So typically we sponsor a film each year with the Woods Hole Film Festival. And Judy Laster from the Woods Hole Film Festival approached us and said, you know what, I think this is the one you might want to sponsor. So I said, you know what, let's give it a shot. So we did with the Run House on Main Street here, we sponsored this movie, and I went, I mean, tears, and it was so moving and so interesting to get a look inside what it was like, or what, you know, this just happened in the last few years. So it's a documentary about the inmates being imprisoned and then having an opportunity through a coach to start a run club, 1,000-mile run club. And they trained for a marathon, and they ran a marathon. And I won't give the whole thing away because I want you to come and see it. Yeah. But one of the featured runners in the film is coming back to Falmouth. He was here. We met him at the film festival, which won the best of the fest. It won a couple of audience awards. I mean, it's really, really good. So we're going to host it at the high school auditorium. And it's free of charge. We just want to kind of put it out there. Christine Yu, I talked with her out in LA, and she's the director filmmaker, and she was wonderful. She's like, you know what? I'd love for you to share it. They're doing a premiere in Boston in September. So she says, maybe this is a great way to kind of get the word out. We'll do a Q&A with Markel, the Gazelle Taylor, who's the featured runner, after it's done. So It's about a 70-minute film. So I would say, you know, budget from 4 to 5:15, 5:30 with Q&A.
Okay. And you know what? We all know how impactful running can be on our lives, and to have a bunch of prisoners get out and do it, I'm sure there's too many positive things coming from that. Yeah,
they've done it at multiple places now, multiple prisons, and the recidivism rate has gone way down. Like it's replacing something with another, you know, thing. So being able to run and get that runner's high, and getting that, staying inspired and having goals, and you know, it's really, really a great movie. So I hope everyone can come and see it.
Yeah, purpose, self-worth, fitness, health, it all goes a long way.
Yep.
Lauren, we're so excited to see you too. Say hi. If you find me, say hello on Race Weekend. We'd love to connect with these humans in person. So 5 o'clock, we have a Bespoke Studio signature strength training class, and then a yoga class at 6 p.m. Those pre-registrations were required. Has pre-registration closed for those, or is it still available?
There's still a few more open. We will send something out. We'll be sending out a runner email. If there are opportunities, we'll include that in there. There was a link on Facebook and on Instagram to sign up. So Move Studios is a truck that we have partnered with that will be at the expo, and then you'll see it again on race day outside. So these classes will be outside, kind of when you walk in on the property in towards the expo. There'll be booths outside. There'll be demos. There'll be sampling. There's all kinds of stuff. So his truck will be out there, and then we have brought in, or he brought in, Bespoke. They're out of Mashpee, and they will be doing some of the classes. And then Capella Yoga Studio is also coming down, and we'll be teaching some. So there's several opportunities for classes. And in fact, you are doing a session one of those times on your strength
on Saturday. Or am I teaching on Friday as well? Do I have a clinic on Friday?
I think only Saturday.
Okay.
But hey, stay tuned.
Okay. You never know. I'm available. I'll be there. So.
1 o'clock on Saturday. Make sure you're there.
That's right. 1 o'clock on Saturday. Okay. And then 7 p.m. we have the Falmouth Track Festival, very famous. So tell us about that.
So the Track Festival, it's so funny because it's another event that it's kind of mind-boggling, the amazing athletes that we have that come to town just to do the mile. And it's a standalone event. The Track Festival is, they are the mile races. It's presented by ASICS. It's at the track behind the high school, which we just resurfaced just a couple of years ago. It was a big project that we took on to help the high school track team. And, again, we use it for our event. So it's been great to see it kind of come back to life. And so the races there's a Tommy Cockery High School mile. So it's an invitational high school mile open to Massachusetts runners. And it's sponsored by the Cockery Gross family. The sisters lost their brother Tommy to a drunk driving accident when he was young. And he was a big runner with the race. So, they started this event in his memory. And so, it's usually, give or take, 8 to 10 runners from around the state that come and they compete in this event. And really it's about making good choices. So they need to write an essay in order to get in. So you have to be fast, yes, but that's not the only factor. You have to, have strong character traits and, just be a leader type person. So, so we're excited to welcome them. And then we also have an elite wheelchair mile. So a lot of our wheelchair athletes, they will do this event and then they will go ahead and do the 7-mile race on Sunday. They're just amazing to watch. They'll race it, they're doing 3-minute mile. It's fast. Yeah. And then the Falmouth Elite Mile is where, the big stars come in from all over the place. And, it's funny because everybody you do the fangirl thing and it's like, you have Olympians and you have, world champions and you have celebrities come. I mean, it's really amazing to see these athletes come in. And then, we have, it's actually under the lights this year. We haven't done that in a very long time. So it used to be on Saturdays. Now it's on Friday. So everyone mark your calendar. It's Friday at 7 p.m. this year. And so we will have the lights on, which makes it a little more exciting.
So what time should people plan to arrive at the high school if they want to watch?
So yeah, at 7:00 is when it starts. And it's also when the expo closes for the day. So honestly, as long as you kind of head out, between, I'd say around 6:45 or so, we're working on a few things outside as well. The Tommy Cockery High School always gives away some good swag. You might get a hat or something fun. There's always some little contests going on. And so I think if you're, again, if you're outside by 6:30, 6:45, the athletes are warming up and you'll get to kind of be there for the opening ceremonies, if you will.
And bring your cowbells and your cheering hands and maybe a sign for your favorite athletes.
Yeah, we've set a lot of records on that track. I mean, there's a lot of people, they run sub 4-minute miles. Like these guys are running, it's impressive. It blows me away every year, that these people can run this fast. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's wicked fast. It's as someone who witnesses elite speed all the time, it's still flabbergasting me. I just think, how do you do that?
Yeah.
I get it, but also I don't get it. How does a human go so fast, especially when they're going so fast for so long?
Yep.
What the heck? So that is Friday night. Now we've had a couple of questions from one of my favorite podcasts, the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. And where's your favorite places to grab food and beverage, local favorites they're looking for?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, one of our favorite places happens to be at the finish, and it's called Shipwrecked Restaurant. So that's where our post-race party will be after you're done on the ball field. You can make your way over there, and in that back parking lot, we have just a huge celebration. There's all kinds of stuff going on in there, and bands and music and dancing, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. They have an amazing sushi menu, which you might not think about that, but it's fantastic. So that's one of our favorite places after the race. But up and down Main Street, there's all kinds of really, really great restaurants. Down in Woods Hole, if you go back down to Woods Hole, you'll see while you're down there walking around that there's probably 6 or 7 really great restaurants down there. The Captain Kidd is where the start line is, and they are, there's outdoor dining there right on the water. It's really nice. The Landfall is there right around the corner from Coffee Obsession. I mean, I could kind of go on. It just depends what you're interested in eating.
Okay, so a lot of good choices. Stay 2 weeks so you can stop by every.
Yeah, it would take that long.
Every single one of them. And thank you for that great question. That's Amy and Dana Costin, and they're some of my favorite runners. They're hardcore. If anyone's looking for a good podcast, Run, Eat, Drink.
Love it.
Okay, so Saturday
is a big day, yeah. So Saturday starts very early with the kids run, the SBLI Family Fun Run, which again is another huge kind of standalone event. There's typically about 1,000 kids. We actually cap it at 1,000, and we're pretty close every year. So SBLI has been an amazing partner for over 20 years now. And so the kids, it's free to sign up, and it's still, registration is even open up until that day. Pre-registering is better because then you just go and you just kind of check in, and then the kids get this very cool bucket hat that we found in a water bottle that they'll get to take home with them, which is great. They also get a finisher medal. They'll get some Stonyfield yogurt at the finish, some water, and we're still deciding what their other snack is going to be. We'll give them something else. All different distances, all different ages. So it's ages 2 to 12.
Okay.
And it's at the track at the high school.
And do we start oldest and go to youngest, or youngest to oldest?
We go youngest and go to oldest. And there's a play area in the middle too, so the kids will be very entertained. This local company called Knucklebones comes in, and it's like little obstacle course stuff and little bouncing. It's all, it's all age appropriate for the various ages. And there's people walking around helping. There's face painting, these glitter face paint, and volunteers helping us with that. There's a photo booth. So kids can get an opportunity with their family, their siblings, whoever, to take fun pictures. There'll be music. You'll be there bringing the energy. So it's going to be a fun event. And so at 8:00 is when you want to arrive, sooner than later. You don't want to wait till 9, because then the lines, it's too much. So try to get there early, get your bib, and then you have plenty to do, play, and until your race is called.
Yeah. And I always say on race day, I mean, the whole purpose of being a part of a race like this is to be a part of the race experience. If you show up at the last minute, even if you are there to hear the word go or to hear that air horn, you're still missing the point. You can go for a 7-mile run or a 1-mile run or a 1/4-mile run any day of the year, anywhere, for free. The reason you're registering is to be a part of us, to join the Falmouth Road Race team, right? So I promise hoopla. I bring great music and fun, and then all of your peers. There's an incredible energy on race morning, and if you show up at the last minute, if you just got to get that extra sleep on Saturday or Sunday, you're blowing it big time. So come on out, get your face painted, all the things. Now, I know there's going to be a bunch of mommies and daddies that are going to want to run with their kids. Is that appropriate to a certain age?
Certainly. I mean, there's certain times where, like, the littles, of course, you can run with your kids. And a lot of times, you'll see pictures and it'll be like the kids are they're going for it. And the moms and dads are kind of running behind them just to make sure they're there when they finish. But it's, the whole thing is barricaded. They'll get funneled into, kids don't get lost. And for the most part, if they're able to do it on their own, then that's probably the best bet. It gives them that sense of independence and feel good, and you get a chance to take pictures.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, and moms and dads, remember that your computer screens and televisions are widescreen. So if you're taking photos, do it widescreen. If it's just for Instagram or stories or whatever, then you could do a tall picture. But I know Ryan's probably going, yeah, that's right. If you record this way, you end up with this weird little sliver. It drives me crazy.
Techie tips.
I know. I pull them out here and there. But yeah, I'm always like, moms and dads, here's a tech tip. But I mean it. It's important to have these photos of our most perfect, precious little humans running so cute. So, and then we have the Falmouth Walk at Town Hall Square. That's at 10:00. Tell us about that.
So the Falmouth Walk has been going on for quite a long time too. It was started by our race founder, Tommy Leonard, and Eddie Doyle. They were very good friends, started this event just to have another fundraising opportunity. So the Falmouth Walk is its own nonprofit. We support them. They support us. It's a great partnership. So it's a 5K, but there's also a little shortcut if you can't do the 5K. So I would recommend, if you haven't signed up for it or ever done it, you should definitely try it out. It's falmouthwalk.org. There should still be registrations available. So everything happens at Town Hall Square. And I believe at Timber Axe Bar is where they're doing the pickup, but I'm not 100% sure. It could be the quarter deck. I should know this, but I will look it up. In any case, it's all right down where Town Hall Square is, and you get a shirt for doing that. And it's just a great opportunity to see a ton of people and take your time, and it's scenic. And it's a nice group of people that puts that event on. And there's a huge silent auction and a party after. So it's definitely something worth doing. And you can do the kids run and still make it to the walk because it's just down the road. So you can do both.
Yeah. And that sounds like a perfect opportunity. Let's say you're doing the 7-mile and you have brought your family members with you. Yep. Send them off to do something, get them involved. These short distance races are a really good opportunity for someone to engage.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking I might do it. If I'm done with the kids races, I might go over and do the 5K.
Okay. Nice. Take a few pictures.
We'll see. All right. So for the rest of the morning, we've got yoga at 10 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
a Q&A with Leonard Career and Sam Chalenga. Tell us about that.
Yep. Those are some incredible athletes. They're going to be at the Cape Cod Radio booth. So CapeCodRadio.com is a great sponsor of ours. They have several stations on the Cape here. So they have a booth outside, and they just happen to partner with Army, and they're going to have a tent set up. And so Lenny and Sam run for the Army. And so it's kind of a really interesting story how that all happened and how they went from, where they were and into the Army. And now they're running races all over the country, of the world, and they're just amazing elite runners.
Yeah, so I have experienced at multiple races that the Army is really recruiting some talented runners from around the world. They are very smart, and they're making our country proud because
right,
they're on
exactly
USA, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, and then obviously, at noon we have Helen Abiri and Emily Sisson also doing a Q&A. Same place?
Right. Nope. That's going to be inside at the Falmouth Road Race FRRA Running History booth. So it's our history booth that we started last year, and we found that there was so much history there, and we thought, well, we can't put it all up for the 50th, so why don't we find a way to do a little bit every single year? So you're not going to look at the same things year after year. So what we decided in this booth is that with our race curator Nancy Sawyer, has gone through, can you imagine 50 years of clippings, newspaper clippings and photos and thumb drives, and there's so much stuff. So anyway, so she's pulling by decade. So this year we'll feature 1973, 83, 93, 03, 13, and then we'll have to see about this year. Might be a couple things up there, but there's just some fun and interesting things. And there's always a story to tell. So we'll have Lucia Carroll will be there. She's former co-director. She's, she knows everything about the race and all of its history because she's been there since the early 70s. So she'll be there for a little bit and can answer questions. We have Bill Higgins, who's a sports writer and also running the race and has covered it for years and years and years. He will be there as well. And Paul Clarici, who has written the book, The History of the Falmouth Road Race. And so he'll be there also to answer questions and sign some books. So it's going to be a fun place. And that's where we'll be doing some of our Q&As, including the amazing Helen O'Berry and Emily Sisson. Talk about two strong and fast elite women runners. I just can't, seeing Helen win Boston and Emily is just like the two of them are, there's something else. So, I will be there to see that as well.
Yeah, for sure. And we will have some heated competition on Sunday, but we'll get to that, right?
Yes, right.
All right. And then at 1:00, I'm most excited about my presentation. I am doing race fails, fun, and motivation. And sometimes on race day, sometimes everything doesn't go right. And boy, have I had a few barn burner bad races myself with some outrageous outcomes. And as a race announcer, I've had a couple of holy cow moments that I'm happy to share. And then I have had a couple dozen of my running friends share their awkward, outrageous, embarrassing race stories that I'm going to tell those tales during my presentation. And if you're ready to laugh at yourself and others, join me at 1:00. Where will I be?
I love it. Where will you be? I think you're going to be also, this is what happens. It's still only Sunday. Yes, it's a week away, but we're not quite done. But I would bet that you are going to be also at the running history booth.
Okay, great. Good.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'll be in great company.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice, it'll be nice and cool in there. And there's plenty of room for people and you can still be part of the expo. So I think that's where we're going to have you. Sound good?
Yes, it sounds wonderful. And I hope every single person comes. I hope we have 10,000 people come to hear race fails. Now, it looks like I'm the last thing on the schedule Saturday. And then people grab their gear and get tucked into bed early, correct?
That's right. Yeah, the expo closes at 3. And for the first time, we don't have an event right after. So no mile races this year. So we're going to, break down at 3:00. And there's a few dinners around town, things that we need to do, but hopefully, like we said, everyone can get a good night's sleep and spend a little time with their family and visit the restaurants downtown, down in Woods Hole, North Falmouth. There's so much great food for your carb loading and your hydrating. So we'll give you an opportunity to do that. And we may sneak another little something at 2:00. We're waiting to hear from a few people. So again, these are subject to change, but we'll keep the website updated so you'll know what's going on.
Yeah. And folks, again, that website is jam-packed with basically everything we're talking about. It's there. So instead of emailing this woman right here to say, what time is my race or what time is the expo, just look online. I promise that information is there. Or again, you can replay this show over and over and over until you absorb it all. So Sunday morning, there's a lot going on, starting with a big busing scenario. So tell us about getting to the start line.
Yeah, the busing scenario. So busing is probably one of our most exciting topics because, it really kind of makes or breaks things. Like you got to get down to Woods Hole. And so I know a lot of people, even a lot of locals, and I love them all, but they say, oh, I'm just going to get dropped off. Oh, please don't get dropped off in Woods Hole. I am begging you, take the bus. So we have this amazing busing program that has been reviewed and tweaked and made better every single year. And this year, I think it's even more amazing. Our DIMSY team, Courtney McGilvery, specifically at the helm of this sort of scheduling and footprint and signage and how to make it move as smoothly as it can, and working with our public safety team. Really, I mean, it's a huge undertaking. You're talking like 125 buses.
Wow.
That are trying to bring 10,000 runners from different spaces down to Woods Hole. So Lawrence School is the main point for runner drop-off. You drop your runner there, you get on a bus, you get down to Woods Hole, and you find a place to stretch, get some water, listen to some music, take some photos, take in the scenery, get some coffee. Like there's lots of stuff to do down there. So don't wait for the last opportunity to get on the bus. That's been an issue too. So what has happened in the past few years is that there is a cutoff for getting on site. We don't do a last bus announcement because really it's emptying the queue. The queue needs to get emptied into the buses. So rather than approaching it as a last bus departs at, we say you need to be on site by. We have like timing mats so we can keep track of who's coming when, and we've been doing that for a few years, and it helps us understand kind of the cadence of arrivals. And what we have learned is that we really do need to make that cutoff. So 7:20 at Lawrence School, that's it. You have to get into the field by then. There's no other way around it. So plan accordingly. There's always traffic getting into town. This year, we have started a little something for our locals and our charity runners where we're doing another drop-off opportunity. It's drop-off only at the high school. So you have to there's an RSVP form going out. It's a pilot that we're doing. So I'm hopeful that it will work out great and maybe it will become kind of the second scenario. So it keeps traffic out of downtown. So having that opportunity for, like I said, for the charity teams and whatnot will be, I think it will help to move the Lawrence system faster. I think it will make things just kind of empty down in Woods Hole a lot quicker. I think the whole thing is gonna be fantastic. I'm very optimistic for it. We've put a lot of hours into this and a lot of conversation with our public safety team and our new police chief in town. I mean, I'm very optimistic. So like I said, please make sure you get there before 7:20. I mean, I can't say enough about that because the worst thing for you would be to have our security team say, yeah, you can't get on the field. And it happened to a few people last year. And, and it's like, you got to direct them to the bike path. So now your race just became 10 miles instead of 7 miles because now you got to get down to Woods Hole. So you got to get down there. So that's the only thing I can say. We make it fun. There's music. We have cheerleaders down in Woods Hole this year. And just help us out by getting there on time.
Yes. And we are going to have a great time. It's so interesting. I'll not throw out specific races by name, but sometimes it's 25,000 people make it to the start line on time. And then, once I yell go, sometimes it takes 25 minutes for all those 25,000 people to cross the start line. And then after the last person, there's somebody else who comes out and says, wait, and they're trying to get their bib on. I'm thinking, where were you? Where were you? So
Yep.
I imagine anyone who's watching this show is committed to doing all the things right this weekend to make the best of their race experience. But set your alarm, set a second alarm. My alarm normally goes 4:13, 4:14, 4:15. So I get up and I never miss anything. So take it seriously and you will have one of the best running adventures you've ever had. Just make it happen, right?
Exactly. Thank you.
Of course. So busing closes at 7:20. And then we have our early start for adaptive athletes at 8 a.m. What does that field look like?
Yep, that's always a fairly small field. There's probably never more than 10 or so people, but say you signed up to run and you realize, I don't think I can do it in an hour and 45 because I've had some really bad hip problems or my knee or something, or they've had a stroke recently. They're a fundraising runner. They really have their heart set on doing the 7 miles, but just need some extra time. So we do have a program for people that need that. Matt Manchester is our adaptive athletes coordinator. And so you just would email your request and your bib number to adaptiveathletes@falmouthroadrace.com. And you can ask Matt for that opportunity. So, but as long as we know who you are, you do have to cross the start line at 8 o'clock with everybody else. Can't just decide to leave at 7:30. You got to check in. It's a whole program and there's a process that has to be followed because we need to know where all of our runners are and make sure everybody gets timed properly. So that's how we work that one.
Nice. And that's a hefty head start. That'll be over an hour ahead of the open field. So that's a great choice. And then we have our elite wheelchair starts, 8:40.
Yep. Elite wheelchairs are at 8:40, men and women starting together. The field is always a great field. We are, I think, the oldest non-marathon in the country to have a wheelchair division. We started in 1975 and it's just been growing and evolving ever since. Spalding Rehab through Mass General Brigham is the sponsor, and this is their 10th year of sponsorship and partnership, and they are fantastic to work with. We're really grateful for them.
No question. Is it only push rims or do you have hand cycles as well?
Nope. It's only push rim. It's, the course is not, the roads aren't very wide. It's dangerous. It's just it's a decision that we've made internally. And it's, we've talked with all of our push rim athletes as well. And it's their feeling that we're going to stay with the tradition and keep it a push rim field.
Fantastic. Well, they're always exciting to start and see them finish.
Yeah.
Or fast and guns, right?
Yeah, 20 minutes and they're done with that course.
All right, 8:50, our elite women. Tell us about that field.
8:50, the elite women are taking off and they are, Caleb Gartner's our elite athlete manager and he has put together an amazing field. And, we were really worried about the worlds are happening between August 19th and the 27th. And, so we thought, we're going to lose everyone to the worlds. And we did lose some champions. We don't have our defending champion, Ben Flanagan, and we don't have Kira D'Amato, and we don't have Nikki Hiltz for the mile. So we're sad that they're not coming, but at the same time, how cool is that? If you can't come because you're going to the worlds, we're okay with that. So, we wish them all well, and we can't wait to watch them. So it's really, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but, we talked about Helen, of course, and the showdown that's going to happen there between Helen and Emily, which is going to be really exciting. Edna Kiplagat is running, and she's, a fan favorite for us. She's just an incredible person. She won it in 2021. Fiona O'Keefe is coming, and I believe she's the U.S. 10-mile champion. We just have some great people running that women's race, and the field, it's always a really deep field and exciting for us to see them come around. And, just the pictures on the press truck are always incredible. I've never been on the press truck. Maybe that's something that I need to do. It's on my bucket list just to watch it happen, see it unfold. But we will be streaming it. So Ryan Weber is our media specialist, and he is working hard at pulling together a show that will go on our YouTube channel, but really you just have to go to our website. So falmouthroadrace.com, and you'll be able to click it and he'll set it up. I don't know how he does it, but he makes magic happen. So it'll be running, and you can watch it from anywhere in the world.
which I would say folks should tune in. The women are elite speedsters. I've had the pleasure of hosting races or announcing races. They've run the USATF Women's 6K Championship a few years in a row in Canton, Ohio. And I often do a pre-race show with the girls, and so interesting outside of running. I mean, golly, they're fast, but brilliant, and so many of them are moms. I mean, Kira, almost 40, 2 kids. She's broken so many records, and Edna just won the 6K championship. And what I love is they're so nice to each other. There's no mean girl situation. They're very supportive and fun loving. It's just,
and they're just good people. Like, they're just good people, and they're fun.
Yes.
You know, so we love having them here. And that's something that, you know, we have a host family program, and probably 40 to 50 host families open up their homes every year, and they take in these athletes. And sometimes it's, you know, year after year, they take the same athletes. But it's an opportunity for the athletes to experience, you know, life on the Cape, life in Falmouth. Sometimes they go out on the boat, they're eating lobsters, they're going to the beach, you know, whatever it is. But it's also an opportunity for these host families to really get to know what their life is like, and you know, make that really good connection. And they've traveled the world, or they've traveled the country to go see them compete. There's been kind of just a lot of really cool stories. And even if you hadn't heard, so our board president, Scott Gelfie, his daughter, Hannah, is actually getting married this October to our former champion. Well, he is our champion currently, Ben Flanagan. And they met through the host family program, and just learning. They both went to University of Michigan. It's a fabulous story, and it's very exciting. And so now he's in Falmouth all the time, and you know, he's running on the track, he's running around town, and it's really great to have him as a part of our community. But the host family, you know, the host family program, it's just all kinds of great things happen.
It's like runningmatch.com. You might meet your love at Falmouth race.
Exactly.
You never know.
You never know what's going to happen in Falmouth.
I hear people fall in love at the ASICS booth all the time. So
right, exactly.
New pair of shoes and a love. Okay, so then we start our men, elite men, 10 minutes later. Tell us about those guys.
Yep, those guys start at 9:00. And you know, the field there, again, it's Caleb's put together a great field. We have last year's 3rd place finisher, David Bett. We have John Career, who won the LA Marathon in 2022. Yep. Wesley Kiptu, who stays with a friend of mine in the host family program, won the Pittsburgh Half Marathon a couple times. He's great and super fun. And then Edwin Kurgat is the 2019 NCAA cross country champion. And like, it's, you know, it's a great field. Some really strong runners.
Yeah, and such an interesting distance, 7 mile. There's not a lot of other people putting on 7 mile races. So if you want that record or you want a shot at it, you got to come to Falmouth.
Yep, exactly. You know, our race was bar to bar is how it started. It just happened to be 7 miles. Right? Yeah, the bar to bar. It was a bartender who started it to raise money for the girls track team. They didn't have uniforms. So for his birthday, it was on his birthday, August 15th, 1973, they ran, 92 people ran from Captain Kidd, and they finished at Brothers 4 in Falmouth Heights. And it was raining and horrible, and I think they ate bologna sandwiches and chowder at the end. But that's how it started. It was a fundraiser that first year, and it's been a fundraiser ever since. And 7.0 certified at 7 miles. Yeah, it's quirky, huh?
Is the bartender still around?
No, unfortunately, he passed a few years ago. Yeah, I think he would have been 90 this year too. This might have been his 90th birthday. Wow. I have to check and be sure, but I think so. You know, we do our best to honor, you know, everything that he stood for. He was just probably the nicest person you would ever meet. He would never forget a single person. He was always smiling and happy, and just always trying to find ways to help people. I mean, he was just a great guy. Really,
what a legacy! What a legacy!
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have, after the men at 9 and 9:03, we do our seated runners and our duos. So out of the whole speedster group, the open group, you've handpicked some that need to have a early start.
Yeah. Seated runners are essentially the sub elites. And so, they get accepted to run the race. They submit a proof of a finishing time that qualifies for this special start area. And then they're notified, just depends on the field and how many people apply, whether or not they're in. And then they get to, kind of warm up in the front loading, we say. And so they warm up and then they start. And, it's really kind of exciting to see that. It's a lot of locals that we have. We had a lot of really strong runners here in Falmouth. Falmouth Running Club is it's another nonprofit, and a lot of those runners belong to that, to the club there. So that's fantastic. And then the duos are right behind them. And those are the, a runner pushes someone in a wheelchair. And it's a very specific program. There's only room for 13 duos. Like it's a lot of logistics that go into that. So this year, we're honoring Rick and Dick Hoyt. Team Hoyt will be there, pushing again, of course. But Rick and Dick, they were the pioneers, and they were with us for 37 years. It was the longest streak that they had of any race, and they did thousands of races. So we're very proud of that. And we loved having them here. And so we lost Rick this year. We lost Dick a few years ago. So it was sad, but they're pioneers, and we have done a few things to honor them. Cape Cod Coffee has put out a runner's roast that is going to, part of the proceeds will go to the Hoyt Foundation. So, more on that this week, I'm sure. But it's our year to honor them as well.
Wonderful. Well, another legacy that just is uncomfortable for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So at 9:05, we have close to 10,000 people taking off.
Yep.
And so, will it be corrals for that group, or will it be one start?
No, it's self-seated. So we have pace signs lined up down the street. So we just recommend, we used to be really tight and strict about, if your number was here, you had to line up here, but people want to run with their families and friends, and they want to hang out and run with them. So we always say, go to the slower pace, because it's much easier to do it that way. And we find it's really working. I mean, people are seating where they belong. They line up where they should go, because, if you're a really slow runner and you start with the 7:38, 8-minute mile, you're going to be alone, and you don't want to do that. So what we do is we kind of push them out in pulses. So, we'll release maybe 1,500 people at, say a 9-minute pace, and then boom, then wait a couple minutes, push out the next, and we still clear the area by probably 9:25 or so, before 9:30, depending on, how smoothly the start went. Knock on wood, we'll start exactly on time.
So, questions. Is there hydration stations at the start, and are there porta potties?
Of course, there are more porta potties than you can imagine. There are porta potties everywhere. And there's definitely water at the start. And then we have water all along the course, and we have a Gatorade station as well. So you have plenty of opportunity. Yep, one Gatorade station on the course, dedicated Gatorade. And then at the finish, there's also a water station, and you'll get a Gatorade in your in the runner food tent. So when you exit that, you'll have your snacks and a Gatorade. And then there'll be Poland Spring, who's a long time fantastic water sponsor of ours. They're going to be activating on the field. So they'll have an opportunity, they'll be handing out water as well.
Okay.
So plenty of chances to get hydrated. And by the way, pouring it over your head probably feels good, but it's not going to do anything to reduce your body temperature. So drink the water, drink it, run under the hose, but drink the water.
Well, and since you said Gatorade so many times, I have to just give a big go Gators. I'm a Gator alum, so.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Fair enough. I like how you worked that in there. Very good.
For the Gator football team. Not everybody knows, by Dr. Arcade. Okay, so we kick them out. How many water stations are there? How often should they look for them?
Starting around mile 2, there's almost every mile. So there's 5 stations. 1 is Gatorade.
Okay. And then are there porta potties with the hydration stations?
There are porta potties there. There are porta potties with the medical tents along the course. We have great, mobile medical and tents set up along the way. So there's always a place to use the bathroom. Please respect private property. Thank you. There's definitely opportunities. There's plenty of places to go to the bathroom.
And then will we have race photography out on the course?
Yep. We have Marathon Photo is coming again. They've been with us for years. They'll be doing some group photos down at the start this year. That's new. So you'll see a lot of charity teams lining up and taking kind of group photos. Kind of when you walk in off the buses, there's a building called the Swope Building. So they're going to be doing that. But you'll see them around. They'll be taking lots of pictures. And you'll be able to get those pictures. Usually, I think it's like the next day or that afternoon. They're really fast these days on how they can match you up. They match your face, the number, and whatever. So those are the photographers there. And then we have, of course, press trucks for the elites. But really, there'll be photographers at the finish. So, the runners want their finished photo. And getting across that finish line it's a great experience. And so you'll have lots of photos to choose from. So just make sure that your number is clear so that they can identify you and you can see your pictures.
That's right. That's right. Race bibs on the front, not your side, definitely not your back.
Right.
And when you see a photographer, normally with the yellow vest on, your job is to ham it up. Do not waste the opportunity to have a killer Sports Illustrated.
Do something.
That's right. So even if you're dogging it, bend your knees, lift those elbows, or bend your elbows, lift those knees, smile big. And then when you come through the finish line, at least one finish lines I am manning, it is illegal, absolutely illegal for you to look at your watch at the grouchy face. So if anyone, I hope you don't mind, Jennifer, but if anyone crosses a finish line like that, I'm going to send them back and make them do it again. Always start.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I think that's okay. As long as they've got their finish time, I'm good. You say whatever you want.
There will be punishments handed out for improper finish line, but we expect to see your pearly whites and your hands up high or whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a happy day and it's such a big accomplishment. Even if you run races all the time, celebrate yourself for just that one moment. It's deserved. It's necessary.
Yep. I love it.
Then they go to this incredible party I've been hearing about for so long. So gush a little bit about the post-race festivities.
Yeah, the post-race party. So you go onto the ball field and you enter into this giant tent. You get your food, you get your snacks and whatnot. And then while they're waiting, your family can be getting hot dogs because KM has again donated hot dogs to our event, and people like Falmouth and the hot dog. They love their hot dog. And people see, Lauren, there you go. You got yourself a hot dog. And Gold Medal Bakery is also, they donate the buns. So, and I think Jack and the Beanstalk is giving us the condiments. So, we're grateful again for all the support, and hot dogs are for the runners. They're for the spectators. They're for the kids. It doesn't matter. Everyone can have a hot dog. There are so many hot dogs. And I love it. So Eat Your Heart Out is our local catering company. So they're doing the cooking of the hot dogs and we have volunteers handing them out. So yes, get your hot dog. And then there's all sorts of things on the field. There's going to be iced coffee. Cape Cod Coffee will be on the field doing that again this year. There's music from Cape Cod Radio. Really it's an opportunity to kind of meet your team and meet your friends and find your family. And so there's letters at the top of the field, like along the ridge of bushes there. And sometimes people say, all right, like line up by your last name. So I'll meet my friends at the E or whatever. But it's because it gets a little crazy. There's 25,000 people on that ball field. And it's crazy. But you can check out, your finish time. I'm trying to think of what else is on there. I haven't.
Now, is there adult beverages?
Not on the ball field, but Shipwrecked across the street, the restaurant I mentioned earlier, they have a restaurant, and then there's a couple of hotels that they also own. So it kind of closes in this parking lot, and it's we set it up the night before, they get it all ready, and there's an opportunity in there to have adult beverages. We work with Boston Beer Company, and we work with Josh Cellars, and we have, all sorts of things to sample. I think we're doing a frosé this year too, which is very exciting. And there'll be food there as well. Like I said, there's dancing and whatnot, and then you can go inside and there's dinner and there's everything there. So that usually happens from, I want to say it starts at like 10:30. Really, when people are done, you can kind of mosey over there, and it goes on until at least 4 or 5 o'clock. It's wow. A full afternoon of it. Yeah.
So two things, folks, is maybe bring a credit card. Maybe if you have a zipper pouch in your shorts or your bra or whatever, just bring something so you have the opportunity if you want to stick around and have even more. It sounds like there's a lot of treats being shared generously at the finish line, but you may want to go get a meal or an adult beverage and just build it into your day to stick around and have some fun. You don't have to be home by 11 o'clock.
Right.
It's like the most fun, fantastic community ever. And if you're coming alone, know that you will not remain alone. There's going to be an opportunity at the start line to meet a new friend or many new friends. And certainly at the finish line, runners are really welcoming and love getting to know other runners. So don't be shy. Stick around if you need help, and I'm available. I'll introduce you to some friends because I've got no shame.
I love it. That's fantastic. And honestly, it's nice to just hang out there and while the traffic clears. I mean, it's the traffic exiting the race. It's a lot. So, it's locked up for a little while. So the longer you can linger, the better off you'll be, and you can get out of town. So, I would recommend that.
So, Jennifer, do you have any idea what Kathy G is talking about? What's a handheld?
Are handhelds allowed?
Kathy, can you elaborate?
I'm assuming that she's thinking like a handheld water bottle, perhaps. So that's what I'm guessing. But no, I know it is. You know what? We don't make the decision. It's the public safety team that does the decision making on that. Who gets on the bus? Like no bags on the bus. You can't wear, like a camel pack. You can't wear a vest with fluids in it. I mean, it's a 7-mile race, and there's water at the start, and there's water at the, on the course. It's a lot of water. There really is a lot of opportunity to stay hydrated. So you shouldn't need that. But who knows? Maybe, we bring it up. We'll bring it up again just to see. But right now, that's their stance. They don't want.
So no fanny packs.
Right. No fanny packs. I mean, you can put the thing on if you have to put your phone in and whatever. You put your credit cards or whatever. If you have like a little spy belt. But it's nothing, and you can bring a baggie. If you have a sandwich, you can do that. Those are the things you can bring. But you can't board the bus with a drawstring backpack, and you can't have a fanny pack. They just won't let you on the bus. So
is there bag check?
No, we don't do a bag check because it's the middle of summer. I mean, people,
All right.
Yeah, we just haven't really needed it.
Okay, so shove your credit card in your bra, in your shorts, and one key so you can get in your car. That's it.
But see, look, you could also get one of these fun things.
Yes.
And just put it on your phone. Everyone runs with their phone. Well, not everyone, but many people do. And and you're getting your cheers and your woos from the app, and people are cheering you on. So I mean, everyone, you can put everything in the phone, your credit card and your cash and whatever.
I love it. And then you just brought up the app. They look for ASICS Falmouth Road Race on their app store.
No, right now we're using RTRT. So they're also getting, it's an email they'll have to connect with it. They should have already gotten it. All runners, it's like a claim your profile type thing. So rtrt.me, and it will give you the leaderboard and you can share it. It'll give you the opportunity to have your family track you while you're running. So you'll know there it is. So you'll know when they cross the start, you'll know when they cross the 5K, when they cross the 10K, and then when they cross the finish. So it's something that we would recommend. And then, like I said, it'll show the leaderboards. You can keep track of who's in the lead for our elite races as well.
Fantastic. Okay, Jennifer, is there anything we missed that you would like to share with folks before they get on an airplane and fly to you, or just leave the office on Friday and come on over?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I would hope and I would wish that everyone would check out all of it. Like, come to the expo and really experience it. Like, listen to some of these athletes speak. They're amazing. Come to the mile races. Like, these mile races, the field is so deep for that. Like, it's just such a great opportunity to really be in it. Like, you're in it with everyone who loves running and loves this town and loves this race. So just experience it. Take your time. Don't get frazzled. Leave extra time for travel. And, there's going to be lines here and there, and that's okay. Just be patient, and it really will be a great experience, and we can't wait to hear about it and see it on social. So take pictures, share, tag Falmouth Road Race. it's it's already race week. It's Sunday. It's officially race week. It's here. So let's get it going. Can't wait to see everybody.
Yeah, and it's sold out way in advance for a reason, because it's spectacular. So yeah.
So, and I guess the other thing I would say, and hi Rudy, that's funny. Oh, Rudy's a great announcer.
Incredible.
I love that. But what I would say, I didn't mention the charity program. The charity program is bonkers. Like, it's so incredible what's happening with these runners. These runners are raising over $6 million for, it's nuts. Just last year alone, $6.6 million for almost 200 charities, Massachusetts-based charities. So it's, it's more than a third of the race now. It's 3,600 runners that are 3,600, and a big part of that is we turn away 6,000 people and we drive them to the charity program. If you want to run, you can run with one of our charity teams, if you don't get in through the random selection process. But then you'll find as you're raising money for them, like, it's making your miles count really makes a difference. It's meaningful, and you're helping someone, and you make an impact. And I think that it's a great opportunity to do some good.
Yeah, I ran Boston Marathon in 21 for the second step. It was for domestic violence survivors, another step of getting them free and independent. And it just was so wonderful. It's just a wonderful experience. And out of all the people who say, I would never run Boston if I didn't qualify, and I think really you would miss out on all the fun and the adventure of a lifetime while being part of raising a massive amount of money for doing good. And you say, I would never do that. I mean, who are you? And where have your standards gone so sideways? It's such a blessing to be a part of a wonderful event like this for a great cause. I mean, the motivation comes out the yin yang. So that's fantastic. $6 million a year, spectacular.
It's pretty awesome. So you'll see the runner bibs. The charity runners have a heart. It's Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and Jimmy Fund. They're the sponsor of this program. They're like a partner that have a legacy partner. They've been with us for a long, long time. So there's a heart on the bibs. So if you see a bib that has a heart on it, give them a high five because they're raising money. And Andrea Norris, our program manager, has really taken that, and there's incentives and there's great messaging. So she has really grown that program and helped it to be as successful as it is today. So it's been awesome to watch it evolve over the years since I've been involved with the race.
Well, as a recent cancer crusher myself, I did cancer in 2019 and 2020. It was no fun. And I always really appreciate all the people who work so hard to find cures, find more humane cures, and it's very meaningful. So if you're out there, if you're one of those charity runners, come and introduce yourself to me. I've got an extra hug for you.
Good. I love it.
All right, Jennifer. So we're going to cut you loose because you've got a whole bunch of races to put on.
Got a few things going on. But it was great chatting. This was fun. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you in person.
Of course, it's coming. And remember, folks, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. If you can't remember something, any details, don't email her. Go to the website, look up the details. You can ask me, you can ask other people, and I'll be around all weekend. I would love to meet new friends in Massachusetts. So with that, everyone, have a great night.
Love it. Thank you.
Bye, guys.